What's up, guys? We're back here, GameStop news and information. Let's talk about what happened today for GameStop, where I think it's still going, and how we can kind of predict this movement in the chart here. All right, so as always, disclaimer, this is for entertainment purposes only. Nothing should be taken as a legal advice or investment advice. Do your own research, make your own decisions. Investing is risky, and you can lose money. You can also make money. So let's move on to here, the chart. So today, Mondays are always crazy. So like you have a theory in your head, what's going to happen, right? And you see if it plays out. So I did not expect this like spike in the beginning of Monday. Totally caught me off guard. This is like, whoa, we jumped up to 70 in the pre-market and the openings. Very, very impressive and very cool. So this was like, again, I did not expect that big spike. If you watched the videos last week, you heard my thesis of the stock's going to keep going down. I have, two put positions that are on like $33 or so. So like I have one share of GameStop as well. So, those are my positions. And so, yeah, I was like, pretty confident. So it spiked up right there. I was like, ooh, interesting. Are we going to go higher? Is this going to be a move upwards? But then we start to see what I kind of thought would happen is just a downward trend. And this is not necessarily people selling GameStop. This is shorts coming in possibly and shorting the stock more. So I think that when we do get the short report and we get more short data, we're going to have a huge short percentage. I think we're going to be over 100% once again on the short data when that does come out. But it's not going to matter that much right now because in about the next 2 to 3 weeks, we're in this cycle where we're actually in a gamma squeeze, but on the reverse side. We're gamma squeezing downwards. And I'll show you how I got to this conclusion over the weekend, doing a lot more research. It's all about the puts that are out there. So the calls and puts are disproportionate as of now. So you can see the chart. This kind of expected just to putter off and lose a little bit of value. I think we're going to end the week probably around $40 or so is my guess, because, again, the downward gamma squeeze. So let's take a look here at the options. And this is the big thesis for this reasoning of why this is going to go downward trending pretty much no matter what anyone does. There's just not enough buyers that's going to push this up. Everyone is kind of tapped out on money-wise, and so it's going to end up going down. Let's see. We would need to add up all the open interest of these calls right here. So this is for the February 12th calls. And you can see it's very, very small. Nothing really there, nothing really there, nothing really there. Now you're at a few hundred, and you get a couple thousand right there. So, you're at probably around a total of 4,000 calls up this point at the $50 mark. So there's only about 4,000 calls if you add all that stuff up roughly at the $50 strike point, which that's very, very small, right? Okay. The last couple of weeks, there was, tens of thousands of calls. So all the way up to the $60 strike point, we're at 2,400 more. So you add these eyes all together, and you're probably looking at around 7,000 or 8,000 in calls. That sounds like a lot, right? That sounds like a lot of money in calls, but it's really, really not. And you compare it to the puts. So in this 61 is also getting pushed out of the money as well as we speak, as time goes on. These 2,480 calls are going to get obliterated and not end in the money on Friday, in my opinion. Again, all educational purposes. Nothing should be taken as legal advice or financial advice, but this is what I see. All right, so we have a total of around 8,000 if you include the $60 strike price. If we remove that, we're down to about 5,500 in calls. All right, now we go down and we look at the put data. So put data is very, very telling, and this is why it's going down, guys. You have way too many puts. So these are all the puts that are in the money. And every put that is in the money essentially pushes the stock down. It has the reverse gamma, just like the calls going up. When the stock was moving up, the calls were getting more gamma hedged. And so the market makers were buying more shares, pushing the stock up and up and up and up. It was a forward trajectory on this. So we had that gamma squeeze. Look up those things if you don't know what gamma squeezes are and that kind of stuff. I'm not going to go over it. It's too complex. I don't understand every single detail of it, but yes, essentially as the price goes up, the market makers have to hedge more and buy more shares. So buying the calls brought the share prices up and so forth. The reverse is the same too. So buying puts and having those will have to be covered, and so they end up selling shares. Okay? All right, so let's look at 286, 271, 277, 806, 2,000, so forth. So, I mean, look at our right here. We're already at 8,000 right here, guys. So by this point, by $75, we've already got 8,000 puts that are in the money, that are getting priced in. And so this gives you that, the negative gamma, and we just keep going down further, and you can see more and more and more. 1,000, 500, 600, 600. So you're looking at over 10,000 there already. You're looking at probably close to 13,000 by here. Keep going, keep going, keep going. You're looking at probably about 15,000 by here. And you keep going and keep going and keep going. And you're probably about 16,000 at this point when you go all the way down into the money. So huge difference there. So 16,000 puts compared to 8,000 puts in the money. And again, if we go below that $60 strike point, those are going to become 5,500 calls in the money rather than, 18,000 or so. And as we get to $60 here, we add another 2,879 on the puts. So the puts is a very, very powerful thing. And you can see 300, 300 as it keeps going down, dollars and dollars. And we get to 55, we're at 1,400 more. So we add another about 4,000 puts. Actually, about 5,000 when you add these up altogether. So about 5,000 more puts get added together once we get down to 55. If we get down even further to the $50 strike point, whoosh, you're looking at another about 9,000 in puts. So you get another 5,000 for going to 55. You get another 9,000 by going down to 50. So you're looking at another 14,000 in puts right here that are going to push this price down. So you already have 18,000. If we get down to the 50, you're now at like 32,000 in puts. And once you get down to 50, you're even lower in calls. So the calls have just gotten a lot weaker. You can see most of the call value is right there. You lose the other 2,300 if we lose that $50 price point. And at that point, you're just going to see this gamma squeeze going down. I mean, it very well could possibly end up hitting into the 20s. 30 is possible as well, just because of how much downward pressure there is on these calls and puts. And let's see, let's take a look at like the $40 range here, and you can just see another 1,770 in the 45 number right there. Few hundred. Yeah, big number, 5,090 or 5,980 at the $40 mark. And oh wow, if it can hit down to $30, ooh, 10,000 puts right there. Huge number. So you have to survive at least 30. If the stock starts to tumble that far down to the 30 range, it does not look pretty at all. Like the $30 puts, there's so many of these things. So again, the reverse gamma squeeze going on right here, and I think this is going to happen for the next 2 weeks, because if we look at the numbers and the charts, you can see this is for the 12th. And then the beautiful thing here is you can actually go into the future and check out again, see what the 19th looks like. And the 19th looks very, very similar. So this one, it does have more calls on the 19th, so there's a better chance for a forward progression on the 19th. You have looks to be about 15,000 in calls, getting up to the $60 strike point once again. So a lot more calls on the 19th. But again, you look at the puts, and you can see how many puts there are on the 19th. And you got 5,000 there, 8,000 there, 1,000, 7,000. You're looking at probably 25,000 in puts down here. I mean, just quick numbers out here. We got 2,500, 3,500 right there, 5,000 there, 6,000, that's 8,000, that's 11,000, this is 13,000, 20,000, 30,000, 35,000, 38,000, 40,000. Yeah, just with the big numbers, you're already at about 40,000 in puts. So you can see the difference between the calls and the puts. Just don't, the puts have it locked down for the next couple. And look, once the price goes down, once again, you have 17,000 puts at the $50 strike point. That is ugly, guys. That's going to be the house of pain, February 19th, if, $50 is breached, and just even further. So we're going to be in, again, a house of pain, I think, for the next couple of weeks. Going out further, it does look like you have some chance from recovery in March. And March will also be when stimulus comes in. You can see the calls once again. Very, very small amount of calls there. And the puts just outweigh the calls significantly, even though it's a lot tinier. But yeah, so the data is linked down below. You can check this out. You can do your own research. But yeah, I think we are going to just sputter down for the next couple of weeks. And, hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully, GameStop goes to the moon again. But I don't think so. I think March. I think you're looking at a recovery play in March. Once things have settled down and cooled down, a lot of these puts have expired. Again, monkey brain over here, entertainment purposes only, so take everything with a huge grain of salt and do your own research. Thanks for watching, guys. As always, good luck, have fun, and stay safe.